Okay, so I'm listening to someone commentating on YouTube, and they're going on and on and on about uh, shadow work. Okay, who understands shadow work? I was on a Facebook group today, and someone said no one can understand the psychiatrist Carl Jung. I picked up his book, not me, but the person in the group said, I picked up his book and I can't understand it. Well, it was, he probably wrote it in German or whatever, some language, European language, and it was probably translated. Or maybe he translated or he tried to put it into English as second language. I wouldn't expect you to be able to really understand what was going in that man's mind. He was a loon. He was crazy. You just have to go pick up a copy of his red book to see he was having unbelievable nightmares and visions. So when I see these commentators talking about integrating their shadow, or you're going to create a bunch of negative timelines, well, this commentator is not even talking from herself. She's channeling some other non-physical reality. What does it all mean when people say you need to integrate your shadow? Well, your shadow is the things you don't like. So, what don't you like? Well, there's certain things that, they're not shadow. In other words, if I was to go here into my broom closet and, let's see. Okay, I have got Mr. Clean, okay? Mr. Clean, I like for cleaning my floors, but not to drink for breakfast juice. So, that it would be considered wrong to drink Mr. Clean for breakfast juice. Is that shadow? No. That is not shadow. That is basically common sense. So common sense and shadow are not the same thing. Shadow is a lot of putting on a mask. A mask. So you are not the same person at work as you are with your friends. You're not being your authentic you. That is because you have got a mask you wear at work, where maybe you pretend to be a salesperson of some type. I got to meet my quotas and, rah, 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 we're simply the best company there ever was. All that kind of bullshit while you're at work. And then when you're out with your friends having martinis, well, you're the life of the party and you don't want anybody from work to see you having fun, because that would give you a bad reputation. So it's all about your reputation. All about you managing your reputation. In other words, when you're in private, you might smoke marijuana, but in public, you're like, we're going to prohibit marijuana, and we're going to make sure anyone using it is thrown into jail for 25 years. That is shadow. Shadow is when you, in private, condone something, but in public, you condemn it. All kinds of examples. There's a famous senator who was in the Minneapolis airport. He was a Republican senator, and he was very much anti-gay. In other words, they're never going to have gay marriage in the United States of America. But he was in the men's room, and he was playing footsie with people that would come into the stall next to him. That is shadow. In other words, he was a closet case, homosexual. And in public, he's like ranting like a fundamentalist Baptist from Georgia or something about the evils of gays. So that is a classic case of someone whose shadow is running them all the time. Why do I say that? Well, when they think they're out of the glare of the cameras, they're doing something that they want to do. In other words, they want to be getting lucky with people in bathrooms. But That's not what that they wear a mask the rest of the time so they can get elected. Politicians always wear masks. They never let you see who they really are. They want to get elected, so they've got all these spin doctors that spin everything they say. So no one knows exactly what they say, what they mean, and in the end, it doesn't matter who you vote for. You end up getting an asshole. Okay, other examples of, what does it mean creating negative timelines? All you have to do is get the scale of human consciousness. Get the scale of human, you can use any search engine on the internet, the scale of human consciousness, it'll come up and take a good look. And you look at everything below 200 on the scale. Like 190 is pride. And below that is anger, and way down below it is like apathy. These are all what you would call classically the vices. So all of these negative states of consciousness, all you have to do is say, well, am I belonging to any one of these states of consciousness? For me, yes, I have got a tinge of anger in my voice. Why? Because I'm still working on my own anger management issues. But I know that I've got anger management issues. I know it. And mostly it's the anger when I look around to see the state of this planet, the state of the way people are treated on this planet. It makes me angry. And there's a lot of energy in anger. And it helps me make a better video because if I've got anger in my voice, it tends to get outrage in the viewer. And it makes for better viewing, believe it or not. If I was singing Kumbaya and staring at my navel, you might think it was a religious program and you'd turn it off. But the simple fact is, when I'm ranting, that's a shadow. People say, I hate rants. Don't rant on my page. Don't send me a rant. Secretly, they go trolling all over the internet looking for rants. Where's Alex Jones? He's great for a rant. So, that's a shadow trait. When Carl Jung was talking about it, he said everything you were throwing into the closet and locking up so no one else could see. All your secret fantasies that are not socially appropriate. You want to talk about the queens? Queen of Hearts. The Queen of Hearts. What's her biggest flaw? She's a doormat. The Queen of Hearts is so much lovey-dovey. She'll take in never-do-wells, ruffians. And, we don't want to leave them out in the cold. Queen of Hearts, that's her biggest flaw. She doesn't set boundaries. She's a people pleaser. The Queen of Diamonds. What do we know about the Queen of Diamonds? Diamonds have got 4 corners. 4 corners. 4 corners. What gets collected in corners? Dust. Dirt and dust collects in corners. So her problem, the Queen of Diamonds, is she's got dirty corners. And I mean, if she was the Queen of Circles, then you could take your broom and go around and, you wouldn't have corners for the dust bunnies to collect in. So she's got dust bunnies. No one wants dust bunnies. They're a form of haunting of your house. It's bad feng shui, so her feng shui is her drawback. Okay, the Queen of Spades. Pick up 5. That was an old game I played, a card game I played when I was about 10 years old. Some kind of a game. It was like Crazy Eights, perhaps. Crazy Eights. You got the Queen of Spades, pick up 5 cards, which was bad luck. So, I'm sorry, Queen of Spades, her bad luck is mostly to do with she's a kleptomaniac. I think that's the right word. In other words, the Queen of Spades, if you came to her house, there's no room for people because she's got it jammed full of junk. She's a junk collector. She never throws anything away. She's a pack rat, Queen of Spades. Leaves you with the Queen of Clubs. Clubs, clubs, clubs. The Queen of Clubs spends her whole allowance at the bar or the restaurant. She goes out, well, if the bar opens in your town at 9 a.m., she is there at 8:55 on the stoop waiting for them to open the door. Most places the bar opens at 11 a.m. She goes for brunch. She has a boiled egg and a double martini. That is the problem with the Queen of Clubs. She knows everyone in the clubs, and she has no money because she spends it all on booze and sniffy. So, that is the problem with the queens. What else do you want to know about queens? They always have to answer to the king. It's not fair. Patriarchy. The whole idea of a king having a different word than a queen for someone who's a monarch. It's sexist. Kings and queens are sexist words. And we all know that sexism is very old school and it's a very shadow trait. It's very shadow. So, what does it mean? What else can we tell you about monarchs? Well, you can read Machiavelli. Niccolo Machiavelli, the classic text he wrote for monarchs on how to rule their kingdoms and queendoms, dukedoms, etc. And basically it is be really, really mean. Really, really mean and strike terror in the hearts of people. And they'll be afraid of you and they'll do what you say, and that's the best way. Machiavelli, the crazy Italian. It's fascinating because this textbook from the 1500s is still taught today in political science. How do I know? Because I was in political science, where in political science I had to read the book, and it was quite an eye-opener because all of a sudden the light bulb went on. Eureka! This is how to run a campaign. This is how to run a country. The problem was I was 21 years old, and anyone who thinks that they are mature at 21 is an idiot. You don't mature in this planet until at least you reach the age of 55. Just so you know, I'm not 55 yet. So I'm still immature in many different ways, and that's why I personally am the Queen of Clubs, because I'm a karaoke person, and that's where I go to play. But I don't do drinking, and I don't do sniffing. Not even a little bit. No, no, no. Stay away from that stuff. It'll make you broke. I'm the Queen of Clubs, Harry Weaver.